Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fish Tank. Great to have you here. Today we're going to talk about some more Minion Masters 2.0 stuff, specifically the in-game user interface. Now I've seen a lot of people giving feedback regarding this and of course a lot of other things. All this feedback is really useful for the developers, whether it's good or bad. Now one thing that kind of hurts my soul a little bit is to see all these negative reviews about Minion Masters on Steam. But even worse is a lot of it is valid criticism. One thing that does frustrate me a little bit though is long-term players who have just seen this update, played it a little bit and then immediately just said, nope, I'm out, uninstall. I would urge you to be patient, give your feedback, let the devs act on that feedback, improve the situation and see where we are a few patches down the line. So today we're going to talk about the user interface. We're going to look at the user interface from the old version, the current user interface and a proposed updated user interface that the devs have sort of mocked up as a potential change. And this is something really good to see because clearly the devs are listening to the feedback and making adjustments based on it. So that just goes to show your feedback is being heard. So please make sure you feedback on Steam, on Discord, fill out the survey form. There'll be links in the description for all of those various things. Right, so without any further ado, let's dive in and see. Okay, so let's have a look at where we were with version 1.0. So remember, there's two settings for the UI, right? There's the regular UI and the streamer UI. Now, most people would use the regular UI. I use the streamer UI, but most people use the regular UI. So we need to take that into account. And this seems to be something that the devs didn't do. And this feels like maybe decisions being made by people that don't necessarily play the game or play the game a lot. Okay, so top left, regular UI for 1.0. So we're looking at 2v2s. So you can see everything is down the bottom here. We've got all of the cards, we've got both HP bars, we've got all of the perks. And the crucial thing is everything's at the bottom, right? If you want to look for something, you can see it easily at the bottom. The only thing I don't like about that is just you've got to go from the bottom left to the bottom right to see everything. Right, so that was the regular UI. And then the streamer UI, which I don't know percentage-wise how many people used either, but I'm pretty sure this would be very low percentage. This was the one I used, and this is why I feel like I didn't really have too many issues with the new UI, as we'll see. So we can see here with the streamer UI, we've still got the cards and everything down the bottom, although they are smaller, and the rest of the stuff has been shifted to the top. Now, the idea here is to free up the corners of the UI so that streamers can put their cameras and stuff there. With the regular version, you could put them in the top corner, but it's going to cover the master, so that's really why I ended up using the streamer UI, and I always found that the streamer UI was my preferred UI. Okay, so that's what we had before. What do we have now? Right, so 2.0 on the right, regular UI at the top, streamer UI at the bottom. As you can see, both new UIs have shifted everything to the top, which is kind of crazy because most people would have been used to the regular UI, which had all the stuff at the bottom. Now it was shifted all the way up to the top. So you're going to be constantly looking at your cards at the bottom, then shifting up to the top to see perk times, HP, stuff like that. So that's, I think that's why so many people were unhappy about that, because everything's shifted. Things are not where they used to be. Now, the bottom right is the streamer UI for 2.0, and it's almost identical. All it does is bring the top stuff in a little bit, which frees up the corners more than previously. I prefer that, but there's just very little difference between the regular UI and the streamer UI in 2.0. So that's where we are at the moment, but where can we go next? Okay, so let's remind ourselves, current regular UI on the left. Let's ignore streamer UI for now. Most people won't use it. Okay, current regular UI on the left. Okay, so you've got the cards at the bottom, you've got the stuff at the top in the corners. Now, this is the proposed regular UI update that the developers have put into shared in the Discord, and I do encourage you to join the Discord and give all of your feedback because it's clearly being heard. And it's a rough time at the moment for Minion Masters, but the way we're going to get through this is by communication between the players and the developers, and making it as best as it can be going forward. So we can see with the proposed change is that everything has shifted down to the bottom how it was before. Okay, so we've got both players' cards. I know this is an adventure screenshot, but it doesn't really matter here. So we can see on the left hand side we've got the health bar and the perks for the masters. So that's kind of going back to how it was originally for most people. So I feel like this is a change that has been driven by the feedback of players, and I feel like this should be a welcome change if it goes through. I would be really interested to hear in the comments here. Let me know, what do you think? How do you feel about the current UI, and how do you feel about this proposed UI? I'm pretty sure most people are going to say this is a step forward. Although it's getting back to how we were before, it's a case of why change something if it doesn't need to be changed. So this looks like definitely a step forward. And then if we just have a look at the proposed change just a little bit bigger, if that's what you want to do. Here we have a full-size screenshot of it, so you can see the cards, and you've got the health bar and the perks. One thing about the perks is a lot of perks have perk information within that circle, and that needs to be, that was something that was problematic on the old streamer UI, where you couldn't easily discern the numbers. So the numbers in the perks will be things like the cooldown on timer based perks, things like Ratbo's Mordaka has the number of units out, things like that. So that's really useful information, and that it needs to be presented in a clear and concise way that's easy to see. Right, so that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys today. I know there's a lot going on with Minion Masters. It's been a rough start, but this shows me that the devs are listening, you guys are feeding back, and together we can get through this. Hopefully you're with me on this journey. I've definitely been, as I've said many times, I've been disappointed with a lot of the stuff so far. I'm worried about the amount of negative feedback, but the real positives of how active the devs have been within the Discord, discussing issues with the players, and here we see sort of the fruit of their labor. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. As always, let me know in the comments how you're feeling, what's going on with you, what are you feeling about Minions, are you liking it? It's definitely better than it was with the latest patch, and going forward, hopefully each patch will bring us back to at least the level where Minions was before, and then of course looking to build on that and make it even better going forward. If you're enjoying the content here in the fish tank, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything Minion Masters related. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Engage the Matrix. My name's Bad as a Fish, and as always, I'm awkwardly waving.